Hello guys, as promised for today's video I will be documenting the ESP-LTD Alexi-600 guitars that were produced from I believe 2003 to 2009. These guitars were obviously based on the Jackson RR24 guitars that Laiho used to use before he switched over to ESP. For those of you that don't know who Laiho is, he was the children of Bodom guitarist that passed away earlier this week. May he rest in peace. These guitars in particular are the last batch in this particular color, and they have some pretty unique features to them, such as the battery cavity on the back for active electronics and a larger cutaway so you can reach the higher frets. Another cool thing about these guitars is that they have a bigger body than a Jackson RR24, which helps balance a lot of the weight. That way it helps eliminate some neck dive. Another thing I did with this particular guitar you guys are seeing is I changed the tuners to locking tuners, which makes changing strings a lot easier, or at least a lot faster in my opinion. So there are two different versions of this guitar, the white with black pinstripes and the black with yellow pinstripes. These guitars originally come with a Seymour Duncan blackout pickup, but I swapped it with an EMG ALX on the black and white one, which sounds way better in my opinion. I will not be playing the black and yellow guitar. I'm actually helping my friend sell this guitar, and it is in new condition, as you guys can see from the plastic on the pickup cover and on the back plates. So I want to keep it new and sell it as such. Between these two colors though, I have to say the black and yellow is superior, just because it won't lose its color over time as opposed to the black and white one. One thing I hate about white LTDs is that they turn into a yellow, like a creamy white color over time. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that in particular, but that's something I personally don't like. Disliking the discoloration in white guitars is something you guys heard me talk about in the Roped Latvala review video. But yeah, if I had to compare the Roped Latvala guitar LTD to this one, I would say the Roped Latvala guitar is just a little bit better. Only because it's got updated features like the newer Alexi models, such as the unfinished back neck, and it's just a little bit lighter, and like the pickup sounds a little bit better just because it's an EMG HZ. Or I guess now in terms of sound, they're about the same since I changed the pickup on this black and white Alexi. But in terms of quality, everything I said applies to the Rotelatvala guitar. So the big question with these guitars is, how do they compare to their ESP counterpart? Well, the main difference is that the neck on the ESPs is like a satin wood, like unfinished neck, and the LTDs have a painted neck. Besides that, the only main difference is that the bevels on the LTDs stand out way more than they do on the ESP. And in my opinion, the LTD bevels look a lot cooler. The last thing that's different is that the LTDs don't have the pinstripes in the back, and they have a cool little belly cut, as opposed to the ESPs, which have the pinstripe on the back but don't have the belly cut. In terms of quality, I would say the LTDs are 90% as good as the ESPs. The newer versions of these guitars are even better, like the Blackie and the Scythe and the Greenie, because they do have the unfinished neck like the ESPs, which brings their quality to like 95% as good as the ESPs, I would say, which is really awesome. The sound and the quality of these guitars is parallel. I'm talking about the LTDs, meaning they sound 90 to 95% as good as the ESPs, depending on the guitar you're using, of course. In terms of weight, the ESP is just a little bit lighter than the LTD, which doesn't make a big difference when you're practicing sitting down, but it does make a difference when you're playing standing up. The only other difference I can think of between these two guitars is that the ESP has a built-in gain boost, which makes shitty amps sound a lot better. So final thoughts on these guitars and these particular models. They are excellent guitars. I personally love them. This black and white one you guys see was my first real guitar, and I have a lot of history with it. At some point it was even part of my Halloween costume, which a lot of people thought was awesome. Putting biases aside, these are still excellent guitars. They have a really awesome punchy mid-rangey Alexi Laiho style tone, and overall they just sound great. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you have any questions about these guitars, drop them in the comments and I'll try to get to them as soon as possible. Besides that, you guys stay safe and I'll see you in the next video.